Good evening, friends. Today I am going to discuss a very important case of Supreme Court. The case is related to the year 1985. The name of the case is McDonald and Company Limited versus Commercial Tax Officer. In this case, the Supreme Court showed its uneasiness on the practices adopted by the assessees for avoiding taxes by the dubious methods. The facts of the case is like that. In this case, the seller of liquor was selling the liquor without payment of the excise duty on by him. The buyer of the liquor was paying the excise duty. Generally, it is the usual practice that whenever the seller sells the liquor to the buyer, the seller issues the invoice by including the excise duty into the bill. But in this case, the seller was not even showing the excise duty in its books of accounts. The purchaser was paying the excise duty and the seller was not showing this excise duty in its books. So the main issue involved in this case was that the department was saying that the excise duty paid by the purchaser is to be included into the turnover of the appellant, the assessee. So the case traveled to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court find that in this case the assessee was trying to avoid the taxes by not including the excise duty in its turnover and taking the route by paying the excise duty through the purchaser. The court made very harsh comments for the assessee and for the tax avoidance practices adopted by the various assessees. So I am going to discuss the various comments which the Supreme Court has given for the tax avoidance practices adopted by the assessees. The court says that the culpable devices are not part of the tax planning. Tax planning is different and culpable devices are different. The court said that the tax planning may be legitimate provided it is within the framework of law. The court said that culpable devices cannot be a part of tax planning, and it is wrong to encourage or entertain that it is honorable to avoid the payment of tax by dubious methods. The court further said that it is the obligation of every citizen to pay the taxes honestly without resorting to subterfuges. The court said that there is behind taxation laws as much moral sanction as is behind any other welfare legislation, and it is a pretense to say that avoidance of taxation is not unethical and that it stands on no less a moral plane than honest payment of taxation. The court further said that it is neither fair nor desirable to expect the legislature to intervene and take care of every device and scheme to avoid taxation. It is up to the court to take stock to determine the nature of the new and sophisticated legal devices to avoid tax and to expose the devices for what they really are and to refuse to give judicial benediction. The court further made the remark that evil consequences of tax avoidance are manifold. These consequences are: there is a substantial loss of much needed public revenue, particularly in a welfare state like ours. The court said that the consequence of tax evasion is there is serious disturbance caused to the economy of the country by the piling up of mountains of black money directly causing inflation. The court said that due to tax evasion, there is a large hidden loss to the community by some of the best brains in the country being involved in the perpetual war waged between the tax avoider and his experts on one side and the tax gatherer and this perhaps not so skillful advisors on the other side. The court said that there is sense of injustice and inequality which tax avoidance arouses into the breast of those who are unwilling or unable to profit by it. Last but not the least is the ethics of transferring the burden of tax liability to the shoulders of the guideless good citizens from those of the artful dodgers. The court took the pain of the department and further said that my excuse for inflicting this extra opinion is that the ingenious attempts to rationalize and legitimize tax avoidance have always fascinated and amused me and made me wonder how ready the minds are to adopt themselves and discover excuses to dip into the treasury. The shortest definition of tax avoidance that I have come across is the art of dodging tax without breaking law. Tax avoidance, it seems, is legal. Tax evasion is illegal. The court further made the remark that the highest authorities have always recognized that the assessee is entitled so to arrange his affairs as not to attract taxes imposed by the crown, so far as he can do so within the law, and that he may legitimately claim the advantage of any express terms or any omissions that he can find in his favor in taxing acts. I am doing so, he neither comes under liability nor incurs blame. The court, in its further observation, said that the taxpayer is morally bound to obey the law, but is not bound beyond the law. For apart from the tax, would be blackmail or racketeering. There is not behind taxing laws as there is behind laws against crime an independent moral obligation. When therefore the taxpayer has obeyed the law, he has done all that morality requires. The court further said that there is the sense of injustice and inequality which tax avoidance arouses in the breast of those who are unwilling or unable to profit by it. It is neither fair nor desirable to expect the legislature to intervene and take care of every device and scheme to avoid taxation. The court said that it is up to the court to take stock to determine the nature of the new and sophisticated legal devices to avoid tax. All these observations which the Supreme Court gave shows the pain of the Supreme Court for those who always tries to avoid the taxes by using unfair practices. The court said that the tax planning is to be done by the assessee, but not the tax avoidance. If one has to pay the taxes, then he has to pay the tax for the country. So as far as the facts of the case are concerned, the court finds that the bills issued by the appellant did not include the excise duty. The payment of excise duty is a legal liability of the manufacturer. Its payment is a condition precedent to the removal of the liquor from the distillery, and payment made by the purchaser is on account of the manufacturer. According to normal commercial practice, excise duty should have been reflected in the bill either as merged in the price or being shown separately. As a fact, in the hands of the buyer, the cost of liquor is what is charged by the appellant under its bill, together with excise duty which the buyer has directly paid to on seller's account. The court said that the consideration for the sale is thus the total amount and not what is reflected in the bill. We are therefore clearly of the opinion that the excise duty, though paid by the purchaser to meet the liability of the appellant, is a part of the consideration for the sale and is includable in the turnover of the appellant. So the court in this case gave the decision in the favor of the department and said that whenever the assessee will try to evade the tax, then the assessee will have to bear the very serious consequences by the crown and tries to draw a line between the tax evasion by the assessee and tax planning by the assessee. I hope that the interpretation given by the Supreme Court in this case will help the listeners to draw the distinction between the tax planning and the tax avoidance. If you like my video, then you please like it and subscribe my channel for further videos made by me. Thank you friends.